Hey everyone, and welcome into another episode of Fundrated. Joining me today is going to be Ash Ketchum, as we talk about an MMORPG that has appearingly, on the surface level, some similarities to Pokemon Go, Team Mystic right here. But Pokemon Go has really died off for me. I do still play it. I know a lot of people don't play anymore, but I do still play it. But at a very base level, the game is too simple and too boring for a lot of people to stay with for too long. A lot of people that still do play Pokemon Go still play it simply because of the licensing. So we're going to be taking a look at a seemingly similar app called Maguss. Does not rely on that level of licensing. So up until this point, the Maguss trailer really reminds me of what I saw in Pokemon Go. The real world interacting with you in a virtual way, the way that Google Glasses should have worked, where you could see things that are there in the virtual world, in the real world. Obviously, this is an edited trailer. This is not the way the game will actually work. And the biggest downfall of MMORPGs that rely on real life elements like this, at least that I've seen with Pokemon Go, is people are not sitting outside their window waiting for you to play the Wandy game with them. They don't sit there and wait for you. You don't even really know who else is necessarily playing the game like you are, and because of that, it's inherently flawed. Any IRL MMORPG is going to be flawed because in real life, you don't necessarily know who else is playing the game with you. And that's another big thing that comes in. The wand. The wand, which is very affordably priced, and we'll get into that later, is made by Arrow Electronics, whereas the game is made by the Maguss development team. So it is going to be a third-party vendor creating that wand. But I do think, from what I read about it being Bluetooth enabled, and I assume the motion tracks the motion on your phone just like your thumb would on your phone, it's simple, but it's effective, and it gets people into the wizardy character. And this wizard battle right here, while being something that Pokemon Go has yet to ever achieve, and looks really cool on paper, you just got a couple guys in the park looking like they're about to go duel it out with their wizardy wands. But the truth is, did you ever see yourself in a situation in real life where that would happen? This game would have to be tremendously widespread before I would run into another player in real life that was going to stare me down with that face that he had, threatening to beat me up over this game. Not beat me up in real life, but beat me up in the game. So I really hate to keep comparing this game to Pokemon Go, but it's hard to compare it to anything else. And what you're seeing there as they're about to duel with this troll is something that I desperately wanted in Pokemon Go and I never got. And that's a feature that I like. Being able to battle different AI components, that's something that I think will work out very well for Maguss, because not necessarily are you going to run into people in real life that are going to want to help you or duel with you or things like that, but you could run into different enemies in real life that you could battle, and that's something that I realistically see happening and being successful with this game. Now, scrolling down and looking more at the wizardy world, I found out that you can actually capture those monsters. Not only can you battle them, but you can capture them. Even more interestingly enough about Maguss, I think, is the fact that you can online battle. Like, you don't necessarily have to be, super close to each other to do a battle. There will be, matchmaking-based multiplayer, which I think is going to be truly amazing, and it's going to ensure that this game actually continues to get played well after release, because the most dedicated people can find others who are extremely dedicated to the game to play against, even if they're on other sides of the country or world. Also, there's a big emphasis, it seemed like in the trailer, about different crafting and different spells, like learning them and whatnot, which is something that's a little bit too technical for my liking. It's not something that I would enjoy. I'd rather get more into like the cutthroat battling of the whole thing. But regardless, I think that the spells and the learning of spells and the mixing of different ingredients to make potions or whatever they do in Harry Potter is really good because it's non-mobile. It's something that you could do while you sit on the school bus or in the car or something, where it's not necessarily dependent on how fast the vehicle is going or if you're near locations that have enemies to battle and stuff like that. It's something that you could do relatively anywhere, I would assume. Now I want to take a look at the price points for donations. They are all, in my opinion, very good, and I'll tell you why. Because any single time that you can get 100% of your money back from what you donated, that's a win-win. And with a lot of games, you see this kind of thing happen. So basically, if you donate $19, you'll get access to the beta, but you'll also get $20 of in-game currency that they're going to give you, because this is a free-to-play game, and there's going to be stuff hidden behind a paywall or stuff that could be improved by purchasing, I would assume. Now, they don't get into that in the Indiegogo campaign, but that's an assumption that I make considering that it's a free-to-play game. Now, for $39, or if you're late, $49, you can actually get the beta and the wand. So the wand is going to run you between $40 and $50, in addition to getting the beta and then getting some in-game currency. So that seems like a pretty good deal to me. I know the Pokemon Go Watch was like $30, which I thought was fair, because it is less than a AAA game. But then again, parts of this game are going to be hidden behind the paywall. Now, something that I want to mention and go back to again was the way the game worked with there being local multiplayer and online multiplayer. Now, I would assume in order to get into a battle, considering that it's going to earn you XP, probably going to earn you some kind of currency, it's going to have some sort of stamina cost, where you're going to be limited on how many battles you can do in an amount of time. Now, my hope would be, without getting too technical into this, that the local battles would cost less stamina than the online battles. This way they would emphasize the local battles, and I think that would be important in growing the game and getting kids in schools and people on college campuses to want to play this game. But I've already seen tremendous success with it. It's almost raised $100,000, doubling its goal of $50,000. It's been backed by thousands of people. It's been on various news outlets. And I really do think it will become successful. Will it be as successful and take down the App Store in the way that Pokemon Go did? Probably not, because of the lack of a licensing. But I do still think it's going to be successful, and it's going to start this grassroots campaign to become all over the country, and probably even more so all over Denmark, as that's where the developers are from. I know they want to be extremely successful there. So my hope is to see this thing come out and be the best it can be, because I truly do have high regards for Maguss and this project, and I would award it, I would honestly say a 10 out of 10. I really didn't think on my second episode of this show I'd be giving that a 10 out of 10. But the way this project is aligned and the way there's so much information available, I really don't think there's a way this could fail. And it seems foolproof at this point, and I really do think it's going to be a great app. It's going to bring to the table a lot of things that Pokemon Go didn't. Probably attract a lot of people who had played Pokemon Go at one time and been left disappointed. So, thank you guys for watching another episode of Fundrated, and I will see you in the next one.